Bennie's a high school coach in Texas, man. I've been knowing Bennie since like the 6th grade. He played college ball at SMU. One of the better athletes, not even exaggerating, better athletes I've ever been around. And just thought I'd invite him over to get some of his perspective,
Yes, sir.
on this college football stuff. He's directly tied into it now. So yeah, that's how it goes.
Yes, sir. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get him in here. There we go.
Bennie, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
But no, hey, Bennie, man, we try to give a little introduction, man. But if you don't mind, just kind of sharing a little bit about yourself for the people, man, where you're at, your situation, stuff like that, what you're doing, etc.
Yeah, I'm down here in Houston, coaching at Sea King High School, coaching football, assistant linebackers coach, and then coaching basketball as well. I've been living in Texas now for 12 years. 4 years up in Dallas, and then this is my 8th year. Well, about to be my 9th year in July.
Tell the people, man, what's the biggest difference you see as compared to what you grew up with to what you see out here every day in Texas?
I think out here, the emphasis is really placed on offense a little bit more. Back in especially South Florida, the first thing you want to think about is stopping someone. Well, that's not necessarily the case. And I'm not talking about every single program out here, but I've noticed that the better athletes are playing a little bit more offense than they are on defense out here. So they put more of a premium on scoring first. And it's just a little different. And I also think it comes down to the coaching as well, where in Florida, a guy may work for the city during the day and literally come coach you after school. But out here, we have guys that are leaving college jobs that are coming and being assistant coaches at the high school level.
Wow. You grew up in South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up a Canes fan?
I was a Canes fan. I was a Rattler first. So I'm always going to be a Rattler. My whole family.
Okay.
But
I can respect that.
When it came to the big boys, yeah, I mean,
you sound reluctant to say that, like, Miami, I guess.
He's just not trying to rub it in on y'all, man.
They was the closest school.
Yeah, they was in the area, so I said, all right.
Yeah, so I rock with the Canes. Ed Reed, Sean Taylor, rest in peace.
Okay.
McGahee,
What's your thoughts on Miami football right now? And your thoughts on Manny Diaz?
It's gonna be a good one.
That's two different things.
It's gonna be a good one.
I was surprised they went back and got Manny, and then I really remembered his dad used to be the mayor.
Yeah.
It just kind of I think it at the time when they had the opening, it lets you know the mindset of the leadership at Miami. Right. They didn't view themselves as a top 5 job. If not, they would have gone out and gotten who at the time would have been a top 5 coach. But I think he's doing a pretty decent job right now. If he can sustain this the level of success that he kind of had last year, I feel like they'll be back in the ACC race. They've only been to the ACC title game one time, if I'm not mistaken, since they joined the ACC.
So. Yeah, it's once. So.
Yeah, and I think if they keep the continuity of the coaching staff, recruiting, and they gotta somehow try to do their best to lock down the state of Miami. I feel like he can do it, but keeping them kids at home it's gonna get tougher and tougher, and that's what you got to do in order to get back to where they were the glory days. You know,
Hey, Manny's never been a head coach anywhere prior to being at Miami. That's high school. That's probably even Pee Wee. I don't think we've heard of Manny Diaz having a head coaching, record anywhere.
He even got fired. Taysom Hill got him fired at Texas.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
But I mean, I guess they wanted to keep the momentum going because I mean he was the DC when they kind of started that upswing. I don't know if I was 100% in agreement to forcing Rick out.
You think?
Explain on that, because every Miami I talk to, this is not counting Jerg, who's on our panel, but like the guys in my chat, obviously, they all say it was time for Rick to go. They were sick of Rick. They were why? Why
it
do
was
you?
A long time coming to them. Yeah.
Yeah, Rick had only been there 2-3 years, but you asked them, Rick had been there 10 years, and it was a long time coming. So yeah, explain why you think that.
It's one of those deals like. And it seems like it gets shorter and shorter. They forget what you did for them.
Right.
And so you understand why coaches leave after 3 or 4 years. You really shouldn't stay after 3 or 4 years because they get tired of you. Regardless of if you won a national championship 3 years ago, I mean, that was 2 years later, you go 500 and they think you can't coach. They think you all of a sudden lost your ability to coach. Yeah. But with Rick, they wanted him to get a little flashier on offense. And he had, what's his name?
His son, I think, right? Was the coordinator?
He was a quarterback's coach, but the coordinator was the running
Thomas Brown.
Mm-hmm. They wanted a little more. They wanted a little more flash. They wanted to see the ball being thrown around a little bit more. But when he took the job, I mean, he left it better than when he got it. So
absolutely,
there are certain people. I wouldn't consider him legendary status like a Bobby Bowden or Jimmy Johnson or Sullenberger, but I think he's right up under it. So in my book, I thought he deserved a little more respect on that part, and I wouldn't have tried to force him to change what he was doing. I probably would have rolled it out a little bit more, but I mean, and then Rick, I mean, he's a South Florida boy, so. I think I would have gave him a little more time before I kind of pushed him out.
I feel like you just put him on Jimbo's level, though. Is that what we're saying here?
No. What he's saying is
no.
I got a whole nother conversation for Jimbo.
We don't need to talk about him. But who are the top 5 coaches right now then?
Ooh, nice question.
Dabo,
Nick.
I guess you got to throw Kirby in there.
Really?
His ability to recruit, you can't deny.
You have to throw Jimbo in there if you're gonna have that talk.
You gotta put Kirby. You gotta put Jimbo in.
Jimbo.
You got to.
If you put Kirby, you gotta put Jimbo in.
Hold on. Come on. Hold on. I like this Benny guy. Hold on. Why you don't like Jimbo? Hold on. Why you don't like Jimbo? Why are you questioning Jimbo?
For all it's worth.
Are you saying Florida State made Jimbo?
Ooh.
Did the logo make Jimbo Fisher?
Here you go.
James Winston made Jimbo Fisher.
I'll be there. I like this guy.
I don't disagree
to
with
play
that.
devil's advocate, I mean, he did recruit him though.
Right.
True.
But if Texas had a better coach at the time, he would have been at Texas because he wanted to be like Vince Young.
You're right. He wanted to Texas. He grew up a Texas fan, so you're right.
Yeah,
you're right
but I mean, Jimbo was a good coach, but I never thought he had a line.
I've said that. Listen, I said that to these dudes, Benny, in 2012. He's never developed that position at all. I don't think he's ever really developed that position at all, and it's showing right now too at A&M.
Well, he developed it. The national championship offensive line, that was developed. Now, take away that line, and you're right. Every other line in his tenure was hit and miss.
Garbage.
But
that line was talented, though, Adrian.
But it wasn't. But it wasn't, though.
Irvin's not talented.
Listen to me for a second. Listen to me why I'm a break down. I'm not saying that they aren't talented, but I'm gonna break down why he gets credit for developing that. There was no blue chip player on that entire offensive line. Strictly talking recruiting.
Well, they had Bobby Hart.
That was the only one.
That was the only one.
And he was the worst one on the line.
And he was probably the worst. And he was probably the worst O lineman
on
that line.
Yeah, I saw Bobby Hart come out to the Cowboy Stadium when I was still in school, and St. Thomas played Skyline, and I literally saw Bobby Hart, and I didn't know who he was, but I said that guy is a pro because he was so athletic. He was so athletic and can move at that size. I said that's a pro. That's what a pro looks like at 16 years old.
And he started from his freshman year at Florida State because of that athleticism.
Yeah,
and the size he had. Other than him, he was a 4-star. You're talking about Cam Irving, who was probably one of, if not the best one on that line. He was a 2-star defensive tackle who they moved over. Brian Stork was a 2-star tight end who they moved to center. And the other 2 guys were 3-star prospects. So they did develop that offensive line. Now, the problem is their scouting on the O-line was terrible because the blue chips that they did end up picking, they all were bust.
Yeah.
They all ended up being bust. All the 4-stars that they ended up recruiting, none of them panned out. But that particular line, they did develop that line.
Y'all got to say this, though. In development aside, Jimbo can call a football game.
Oh, Jimbo is one of the better play callers.
He can call his ass off. We got to give him that much credit. I don't think, and I want
Benny's not feeling.
He don't mind.
I agree with Jurgen.
Benny's not feeling.
You got to give me 5 people better than.
No, he's right. He's right.
He can call a
game. He can call a game. He can call a game. If you're saying, Benny, if you talking about like a program builder, I think if that's what you're looking at the head coach as, okay, Jimbo has something to prove, obviously, because Florida State was ran down, right? He left it ran down, and he inherited a Ferrari, and he left you with a Toyota Sienna. You know what I'm saying? And it's a fact. he comes to A&M. They got all that money. He got the $100 million contract. He really has no excuse now. You know what I'm saying?
They overpaid him. How does he get more guaranteed money than Saban? Are you serious?
That's what you do to get your coach. That's what you do to get your guy. It wasn't about him being better than Saban. They didn't believe that, but you got to get your guy.
Well, do you think it was to outbid LSU, though? Because Jimbo to LSU was a very real thing.
That was going to happen.
So do you think it was to outbid whatever LSU was going to offer him? I think that's more reflective of that than anything.
But I think they overbid. LSU wasn't giving him a guaranteed contract of what, 10 years?
Sure.
$100 million?
And his buyout is ridiculous. Like
Jimbo's buyout, his whole contract. Wherever he leaves, he gets it.
His buyout is so ridiculous that if another team's not going to hire him, if he
A&M is that good,
right?
A&M they would.
If Jimbo falls off a cliff, A&M is stuck with him for the next 10-year contract or whatever it is he got.
He got what, number 6, 7?
So because nobody's paying that buyout. That buyout is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So right. Ryan King said that the 5th guy remaining is Ryan Day.
No.
What?
Hold on. Who were the first 4?
Ooh. Well, we talked about
Saban, Dabo,
Jimbo.
The first.
Is it Jimbo and Smart or
this is
Kirby.
This
is Benny's list.
No, I thought this was all our list. I thought it was all.
Well,
let's all come together and make a list.
Because you leaving Jimbo out, so.
Well, I'll throw Jimbo in there for the sake of this conversation. We'll throw Jimbo in there.
We have 4.
Ryan Day, no. Matt Campbell is in the top 5.
Absolutely.
I would pay Matt Campbell.
I like Matt Campbell.
$100 million to come coach my football team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If I had it,
Matt Campbell over Lincoln Riley. I'm just throwing there. I'm playing some devil's advocate right now. Okay.
I actually played against Lincoln Riley. He was coaching at East Carolina my senior year, and we played against him. Their offense was ridiculous, but I like Lincoln's up there. Don't get me wrong. I like Lincoln better than Jimbo, but Matt Campbell, I think, is right behind Dabo and Nick Saban.
Wow,
that's how highly I think of him.